I am alive. It's a great thing. Let's see what they have to say about steelworkers.
Remorse. Okay. Think about buyer's remorse. Where you go, you buy something like, change my mind. Can I return this?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So who has the Democratic Party lost lately in the last 8 years?
Men.
A guy named Elon Musk. You lost.
Yep.
You lost Tesla. He left you. Young men. You've lost young. Do you see the statistics coming in of young men? Just came out yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, right?
Dropped.
But then you have even girls that are being interviewed. You know, who would
Married
you rather
women.
date? Would you rather date a liberal man or a conservative man?
Conservative.
I'd rather date a conservative man, right? So what is this? Young men leaving the Democratic
Look at
Party.
that.
In the
This
last
is
8 years.
ridiculous.
Patrick lost Donald Trump.
Yeah, they lost
You know, I'm
Donald
not gonna
Trump.
lie. I mean, they
Yeah.
lost him maybe a little bit earlier
Yeah.
than the rest of these people, but I mean, they lost Donald Trump. Hey, let me
lost
give you
Tulsi.
something really interesting
That's
about.
what I was about to go. Tulsi, RFK. Look at the people you're losing.
Everybody's gone.
I mean, I go all over the place, right? You have so many incredible Democrats in this country, right? But it's different than what you actually see up on TV. Like TV Democrats are very different than Democrats in this country. Go to Pennsylvania. Look at the steelworkers.
Yeah.
They've been Democrats for 3 generations. You know why? Because they wanted great working conditions. They wanted great wages, etc. I have people who come up to me. Oh, my grandfather was Democrat. My father was Democrat. And kind of I've switched over to Trump, but. They'd be rolling in their grave if they knew that I was voting, Republican. I go, let me ask you a question. Would your grandfather, the big steel worker in Pennsylvania, would your grandfather have approved, 6'5" guys, men my height, swimming in women's sports? No, he'd be rolling in his grave. Would he approve, transgender studies being taught to, your fifth, guys, I left New York because there was a school that literally, it put up on the board, man, woman, boy, girl, and they would literally, I'd ask your kids to identify where they were on that spectrum. These kids are like 4 years old, right? And I asked the question, would your grandfather, steel worker, tough as hell, right? The toughest guys in the country. Would your grandfather have approved this nonsense?
Absolutely.
No, he would have been rolling in his grave, right? The reality is the Democratic Party over the last 30 years has left everyone.
Yeah.
It has left everyone. And honestly, the crazier they get, the faster that whole kind of exodus gets prepared.
By the way, this is one of the things when you think about. You said Pittsburgh, right? The steel workers in U.S. Okay, Rob, go to 1950s. You said 3 generations, right? Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
When you're saying 3 generations, Rob, go to 1950s steel workers in U.S. Just Google it. Go to 1950s total steel workers in U.S. Okay, the numbers should be around 700,000. Okay, if you go to one of the charts, if you can. The numbers around 700,000 is what we used to have. Okay. You should be able to find it. Anyways, that number today is 140,000.
From 700,000.
From 700,000
Wow.
to 140,000. If you just use ChatGPT right now, Rob, and Brandon, if you're listening to this, if you send it to Rob, that'd be great because
Well,
it's
there it is.
right there.
1940 employed
So-
nearly 700,000.
700,000 in the 50s.
Okay.
Okay. And reach its peak production in 69. Okay. Today we're at 140,000. Out of the top 15 steel companies in the world, 0 is US, 9 is China. And on top of that, go to Pittsburgh. I just pulled this up right now. Let's go look at the mayors in Pittsburgh. Go all the way to the bottom, right there. And let's go up. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, 2022 to today. Ed Gainey, Democrat.
Pete Taylor?
Bill, Democrat. Luke, 06 to 14, Democrat. Bob O'Connor, Democrat. Thomas, 9406, Democrat. Sophie, Democrat. Richard, Democrat. This is 77. Now this is pre-me being born. 54, Democrat. 53, this is 50s, Democrat. 52, Democrat. Watch what happens here. Keep going. The 46 to 59, Democrat, Republican.
Bingo.
Republican.
Wow.
You used to have jobs when you voted for Republicans, and you lost your jobs, Pittsburgh. And you know what's happening right now? People are sitting there saying, dude, I'm no longer the Democrat that you're explaining.
Anyhow, what this is about we had 700,000 steel workers back in the 50s of last century. We only have 140,000 now. We've lost about 80% of our steel workers, for which I am one, and I'm fixing to retire. So we're fixing to lose another one. So there's not much left of the American steel industry. And when they decide to start rebuilding, a lot of young people don't know what the hell they're doing. They're going to get hurt. Because when I got in this business back in the early 90s, the last century, guys were getting killed on a regular. Injuries, main injuries, bad injuries that would change your whole life type injuries. And we got better through safety, lost a lot of people because the governments throughout the past 50 years have been killing the steel industry. And we need to rebuild it because without the steel industry is the backbone of America, man. If you don't have a backbone, you're a spineless bitch. So talk to your freaking local politicians and shit and tell them, hey, let's rebuild the steel industry and start making America fucking, brass balls again like we used to be. I hate that 80% of my industry's gone away. That's my career, my life. 80% of it, America's killed. And I served in a war for America. I'm an idiot, huh? I'm a fucking idiot. But, hopefully things will change. An iron worker to enjoy it if it does. Because I spent, 93, 2003, 13, 23, 32 years of my life I've been an iron worker. I'm really, really tired of being iron. 100%. Yeah, no doubt. And quite frankly, they're going down the same road if you really look at it. Because, my whole lifetime that I can remember, that they're leading us two paths down to the same goal. There's just two paths, paralleled, a little different. That's all, but it's not representative of the people by no means. I didn't serve in two wars. I'm a two-time veteran. I served in the 1990 war. I was recalled to active duty service because of my specialty as a combat medic in chemical, biological, and nuclear. So they called me back. I was working at a place called Lucky's. It's like a Winn-Dixie doing stock, or a Safeway if you're out west. It's a grocery store. And I got off work. It was like 5 a.m. So February 2nd, I think it was. And I got home and I got my mail from the day before, and I had a letter from the Department of Defense recalling me to active duty service. And I had to report to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, February 7th. And I stayed there for a week for retraining, recertification. And they sent me to Fort Sam Houston for 2 weeks of recertification and updating of new knowledge in the field that I was in. And then they sent me over there, and then they sent me back, and I was stationed at, San Antonio, Texas, Fort Sam Houston, at one of their hospitals for about 2 months, 2.5 months, and then they got me out. I was only in for 4 months, which is, if you know anything, you say you are a veteran, Mr. and Mrs. West Coast Stacker. I served in wartime for 4 months. Not 6, not a year. I served for 4 months. Honorable discharge. Special operations. They don't keep us in. They take us when they need us. They let us go last in, first out. But yeah, I challenge you to find anyone else who served in active wartime for 4 months. Because I know during our our police actions in Afghanistan and Syria and Kuwait and wherever the hell else we were. Those were NATO or UN police actions, and the guys served for 6 months or 1 year when they got called up from the National Guards or reserved or recalled to active duty service from other sources. They served for typically a year, sometimes only 6 months, but I only served for 4 months. But I was in for 2 years before that, from 85 to 87, where I also got an honorable discharge because Congress violated my GI Bill. They violated by changing the GI Bill or get taken honorable. And I just finished all of my training in medical. And I said, fuck this shit. I'm getting out. Give me my honorable discharge. So they gave me my honorable discharge. And then that was in 87. Then they called me back in 91. That's the 2 times I served. My brother served for 20 2 years, and my father served for 23 years. My brother was a Green Beret, and also for 2 years was a liaison bodyguard for American politicians to NATO. He was in charge of the bodyguard services, military liaison bodyguard services for American politicians in NATO. And he was also Halo Jumpmaster of the Army. So I have an extensive understanding of war, how to wage it, how to win it, and who to call if I need to get in or get out of it. So what are we talking about here? Hey, silver cigars. Oh, you guys getting silver. That's a good thing. Silver, dude, it jumped up to 34 and then down below 30. Let me tell you what, about a year and a half ago, I was watching some shows, and they were saying once silver starts going up $3 and down $4, or up $4, down $3, up $5, down $4, you're coming up on the crash. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. I got a pretty decent memory, even though I smoked the fuck out of weed. I got a real good memory. And I remember them saying, anytime you start to get fluctuations like that in silver, because if you look at the silver chart over the past 40 years, it's never done that, because it's been in a cup and then the handle, and now it's in a breakout. And what a breakout means is our economy's in issues, and it's going to, we had a lost $2.5 trillion in the stock market. So silver went up, down, big jumps, boom, boom. I expected to see it go like up to 36 or 37, then drop down to 31 or 32, then jump up to 39 or 40, and then fall back down to 33 or 34. And then it'll just keep doing that volatility, going up and down, always upward. So if that is true, then you guys see the same pattern. And if you go back and look at some of these financial channels, or if you talk to some of these people or know some of these people that have financial channels, talk to them, ask them what a high volatility in silver market means. And if they are in line with what I just told you, then what you do is wait till it goes up to 34, 35, wait a couple of days till it hits back down, buy it, because it's going to go up about $5. And it's actually the best time where you can actually make money on silver rather than holding it for 30, 40, 20, 10, 15, 5 years, however long you've had it. You go ahead and call server. Go ahead. I'll tell you what. Do you have access to research shit? I will give you my social security number. That's my social security number there, Mr. Call Bullshit on me. I don't lie. There's my social security number. Look up my military records. Tell me if you get more than me. It's half of one page. Half of one page is what I have for my DD-214. I don't lie, sir. So what you have just done, and I don't take offense, but you just made yourself look like an ass. Because in the 3 years I've had my channel, I have to want to impress. And no offense to anyone, but I don't give a shit about you. I'm not going to change who I am for you. I'm 56, fixing to be 57. Never been married, because I don't change for women. Why the hell would I want to impress someone on a computer? Seriously. I mean, I understand how other people think, but you got to use some intelligence at some point in time. Why would I say this shit on national fucking recorded shit and lie? Seriously. Take my social security number, check my military record. And you might get a call from the FBI. You might not. You take your chances. Think I'm lying? Check it out. What's up, Hunter? I challenge everyone to use that social security number to find out my military records. I don't lie. Never have. I like interacting with you people. You seem like good people, but I don't like you enough to fucking want to impress you. You see this behind me? Does this look like a motherfucker who wants to impress somebody? I mean, if I wanted to impress people, I would never have shown my room, and I would have done this number here. Hold on. I would have done this number here to make you think that I had a nice pad and lied to you. Instead, I'll show you my kitty cats, like this little bitch right here. I'll show you my ugly floor. my little fucking military cot bed, my two-tone fucking walls, my little hot plate, which I cook on, as you can tell, and my two-tone ceiling. I'm not looking to impress any of you. Sorry. You like me or you don't like me. That's all there is to it. I got homosexual friends that love me. They know I don't approve of their lifestyle. The reason why they love me, because I'm real. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I am me. You want to hang around me? You got to deal with me. I like people for the character, not for the color or their sex. And that's why I have a very, very diverse group of friends. Because I have no need to impress anybody. Never have. Don't care to. It's a waste of time from my perspective. And to lie, you have to want to impress someone. I mean, why else lie? Oh, I live in a mansion. Fuck that shit, dude. I live in a fucking $2 piece of shit. So what? I don't care to impress anybody. No, actually, I served 18 months. It was less than 2 years. It was 18 months. And then I got out. It was 85 to 87. They called me back in 1991. Please do check it out. Do check it out. I'm such a liar. Do check it out. I've never met you. I really don't care either way, whether you're here or not. I hope you're here to get information. But if you're here because I think I lie to you, you can leave. You know, that's how I feel about that. And you don't need to ask any more questions, sir. I gave you my social security number. Everything you need to know about Neil Andrew Hahn is in that social security number. So quit talking shit to me and get your own proof. Prove that I'm a liar. That's on you. So you can stop talking about it. You got some work to do. Okay? I'll see you when you come back after you do your work and you say, sorry, Neil. Sorry, Neil. I didn't mean to call you a liar. I'm done. Because I don't need to impress you. You need to impress your wife. I don't have a wife, and you're not my wife. So that's how I stand on that one. But thank you for questioning me and thinking I'm some piece of shit that comes on TV and lies with fucked up bedroom. Oh, I'm a millionaire. I drive a Porsche. No, I never said that. Scion 2011. That's what I drive. Paid $1,000 cash for it. Had it for 5 years. Put $1,400 into it since I've had it. Best fucking investment I made. I didn't have a car before that because there's no way in hell I was going to pay for a fucking car. I don't like paying a lot for a car. No reason for it. Again, you buy new to impress people. You shave to impress people. You comb your hair to impress people. I don't care. Although this looks kind of cool, it makes me look either like an alien or like Dorothy if I like to put them in fucking braids or something. I don't care to impress anybody, bro. So that's the first way you can tell if someone's lying. Are they trying to impress you or bullshit you, make you think there's something they're not? And if you think I am, here you go, baby. Look at what I got behind me. Yep, it's that $1 million mansion. That's the newest Tiffany ceiling right there. I had some French artists come in and specially paint that. I don't care to impress anybody, bro. I don't even talk to my family because I don't care to impress them. I don't care about what they have to say about me. I'm a 33-year iron worker because I don't give a fuck about what people think about me. Why would I lie? Why all of a sudden at age 56 would I want to lie to someone? Fuck if I know. Please do tell me. I'll tell you how wrong you are. What's up, Gold and Silver? Dude, my credit's so fucked up. I just settled. I was fighting IRS for 17 years. I didn't pay taxes for 17 years. I settled $137,000 tax debt for $100. I told them, they said, oh, you owe us $137,000. I said, get fucked. I'll give you $100. We'll start over. They said, oh, fuck you. We're getting the money. I got a lawyer. 6 months later, he said, sir, we'll take $100. Thank you. Yeah, check that out too. That's not a lie. So I've been fucking the government for quite some time. I've been fighting investors for quite some time. Everyone talks about this shit about, oh, do this for government, do this for government. Yeah. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. What's up, Gerald? Oh, shit, man. You got in the new military. You know, B. Taylor, I can tell you what right now. The most insulting thing you can say to someone who's been to war is thank you for their service. And then don't put anything behind it like there's any intent or meaning to it. Because that's shallow words, and we don't give a fuck about shallow words. We'd rather you tell us to fuck off. My personal opinion, when people say, oh, thank you for your service, and they treat me like shit. Fuck you. That's just letting you know how I feel, bro. To me, it's insulting when people say that. Other people might enjoy it because they, whatever. Yeah, no, I challenge. I still am fighting the state franchise tax board. As a matter of fact, I spoke with Gerald about it. I was supposed to have $2,400 in tax returns. I got 4. Where'd the other 80% go? I don't owe the feds any money, so I guess the state took it all. And I really don't owe them money because I paid them off when they took 75% of my paycheck for the full year of 2021 to pay off a $6,000 tax debt. And then all of a sudden now when they need money, oh, I still owe that $6,000 that they took out of my check. I've got the paycheck stubs and everything. I'm going to sue them when I get some money. But right now they just fucking took $2,000 from me that I was expecting. And that's a lie too. I'm trying to impress you. What noise are you making down there? I mean, lights on. I can't see shit. I'll just unplug these fucking. I'm gonna turn lights back on. And there we go. That way you can see the Hilton Hotel. And my wife, where the fuck is she? She's on the Playbook cover of Playbook magazine. I'll have to go buy it so I can show you a picture of my wife. No, I didn't say you did, B. Taylor. No. Please, please don't take that wrong. I said me personally, when people say thank you for your service, I see it as an insult. Because you thank a person for their service because we put our life on the line. And to me, it's like those words make up for that. Really? No, how you thank me for my service is being a good American. Be kind, helpful, and grateful to other Americans. Back your local government. Back your local law enforcement. Back your local community. Be part of your community. That's how you thank me. Because I didn't go to war for you. I went to war for America. You just happen to be an American. Congratulations. Unfortunately, I happen to be American too, and I had to go to war for it. So, in my vision, I'd rather see you be a good American and that be a reward rather than to say thank you for your service. I think that's hollow, especially like Joy Bear on the Whoopi Goldberg show says thank you for your service. And then she goes and tells American soldiers to shit on themselves. So words out of the mouth and then actions aren't all the way same. That's what I meant. I mean, most people will just spew out words in their mouth because they're looking for instant gratification and they don't really mean it. And I found that to be more true than people who actually give a fuck that I went to war. Most people don't give a fuck. Hell, I don't give a fuck. Life's too short to worry about it. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Andy? I've actually known quite a few Marines. When I was in 7th grade, Caddy Corner across the street from us, I lived in Navy Point, Pensacola, Florida. 2 Marine lieutenants, actually there's 3 of them, but 2 of them hung out there quite a bit. They were pilots, and there was only 2 of them because they used the 3rd bedroom as their aviation room, and they had these maps that they put on the floor. It'd be the size of this bedroom, the size of this room, a map on the floor, and they'd draw out their flight patterns. And because I knew the local area, I found out how pilots fly when they do low. There's different missions. They have different ways to navigate. One of the ways when they do the low altitude, they look for landmarks or specific things that are different, so they know, okay, shortly after that I bank 13 or 15 or 27 degrees to whatever. But they look for ground targets that they know are there. And they used me for that because I lived in the town for a while. And I'd say, oh, that's right there, there's a church there and stuff like this. And I hung out with them for about a year learning about how they map out their flight plans, at least how the Marines do. It was pretty cool. They were cool dudes. I liked him. Captain Blum, when he got out, he was a captain. He was a lieutenant when he went in. This was 80, 79, 1979, 1980. It was way back when. But anyhow, I started this off because I had a little comment thing from Value Entertainment of how America has lost 80% of our steel industry and steel workers. I'm fixing to retire, so it's going to be 80.001%. And I just want to bring awareness and have people talk to their local congressmen, state and federal representatives, and let them know, hey, let's build back the backbone of America, which is the steel industry. And we're going to be doing it anyhow because Donald Trump's already signed an executive order and Congress is going to pass it. It's called the Shipbuilding Act. And I've talked with Independent Mini about this many times. If you guys get your TWIC card, there's fixing to be tons of work later this year into next year along ports and building boats, big boats, huge boats. This card right here is the card you need. The TWIC card. You get an FBI background investigation. It takes about 3 months to get this card. It's a transportation worker identification card is what it is. Once you get this card, that little thing right there is hooked up to a computer at the federal database at the FBI that guarantees that you're safe and you can go on to infrastructure projects of national security, meaning ports, docks, airports, other ports of entry as a civilian. So that, and also that card, if you get that card and you book an airplane ticket, when you book the ticket, you put that number down on the ticket and you can bypass airport security where everyone takes off their shoes. You walk right around it with that card. Hey, thank you, Andy. Hey, are you still sick? It's amazing how people always get sick on Friday night, huh? Around happy hour. What are you doing, kitty cat? Yeah, I have a feeling that Mr. West Coast Stacker has a little grudge against me because I had to time him out Ninjas because of some of the stuff he said something that wasn't appropriate for Ninja's show, and I deleted his message. Because even though I know if I know anyone here, I'll tell you this right now: if I'm a moderator in Economic Ninja, you go there, you say something stupid, I'll time you out. I'll ban you from the show because I have a job to do there. So if you know me, it doesn't give you a special right to talk shit on his show. And I have had to ban people that I know on my channel on this show because I separate shows. Indy has her show, what she talks about on her show. I don't talk about on my show. Ninja has a show, blah, blah, blah. But if you know me on my show or from Indy's show and you see my ninjas and you think you can say something inappropriate and get away with it, I still will like you, but my job is to keep it on track. And I do that no matter who you are. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't care if you like me or hate me for it. It's the right thing to do, and that's what I do. Along with not lying. I try to do the right thing. Also, probably another reason why I'm single. Because I won't lie. If someone says, does this dress make me look fat? I'll say, nah, You're just fat. The dress has nothing to do with it. You ask the wrong question to the right guy, you're going to get the right answer. That guy's going to be single. Yeah. You have a Nexus card? Really? That is cool. I actually, Magic Mushroom, hello. I've never heard of a Nexus card. Could you please elaborate on what that might be? I've heard of it. I think it's a car called the Nexus, but I've never heard of the card. What's it pertain to? Nexus, National Energy, something United States. Huh. I don't even know what those stand for, my friend. Could you, please do elaborate. Yeah, I've got a federal security ID. Hold on, let me smoke some pot. That's right. Another thing Mr. West Coast Stacker probably called bullshit off, because most Marines will do that, especially short timers. I was smoking weed in 1991 in Afghanistan or in Iraq or fucking Iran, wherever the fuck they dropped me off. You know, the desert. It all looks the same. There ain't no fucking line. I was smoking pot. I was smoking pot in the fucking army in 1985 and 1986, 1987. And I haven't stopped smoking pot. The government hasn't made me stop smoking pot. What they have done is allowed me to get through and be able to bypass all their fucking drug tests, except for the hair follicle sample test. I can't beat that one. Every other test they give out, swab test, pee test, I pass them all. Gold and silver, I have got outside 3 right now. I got 4 spots. I'm going to stick a clone in one. I have 3 seeds going. I anticipate 9, 10 footers this year. I think I planted them too close together. They're only like 5 foot apart, and I think that's too close. Again, I always plant them too close together, so I'm gonna have to try and keep them small. But I'm gonna have about a 15-foot wall by about 6 foot tall of fucking bag come October. I'll show a video of it. It'll be cool. I'll probably get a strike, but I'll do it anyhow. What the fuck? Unless by then Trump follows through with his first time in office when he said he would decriminalize marijuana and make it nationally legal for medical reasons. If he does that, then YouTube won't be able to do shit to me. And my stock MJNA will skyrocket and I'll be wealthy. Get her. So I've got pinned at the top. Anyone who wants to come up. No one's there. Anyone who wants to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. Talk shit right beside me. We'll actually have a contest who can talk the most shit or who can be most convincing in talking shit. You know, whatever rules you want to play by. Or we can just talk shit. Or you can just type it down and then I'll talk shit and then you can type. Your call. I'm still waiting. I'm probably not going to do a live stream tomorrow because I'm going to be bothering Indy as much as possible to where I can get into her backstage speakeasy. Because it's been a while since I fucked with her in my 7-day fix. It was on Friday and I got a strike because of her. And, you know, so I got a lot to talk to her about. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time at Indy's backstage. Oh yeah, I only smoke homegrown magic mushroom. As a matter of fact, some pretty big sized growers around here get their seeds. That's not me. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm gonna go mow this guy's lawn because he's gotta be careful who he lets in his lawn. I think he's got, let's see, he's got 18 outdoor plants started. and he doesn't like people in his yard, but he still needs his yard done. So since he gets his seeds from me, because I know how to feminize seeds, he gets me to go back there to mow his lawn, actually weed eat his lawn, because he's got too much weed back there growing, and it's like he doesn't trust too many people. So I actually still have to do lawn work at age 56, but it's for security reasons. He doesn't trust anyone else in that backyard. Then I make a quick 50 in about an hour, so it's all good. Well, if you're getting stir crazy, Indy, if that were truly the truth, Indy, pin to the top. You can come in here, have that same little pretty little dress on, looks like Mary Poppins. You can fuck with me. Same way as I fuck with you. Yeah, I know it's kind of addictive talking to people online. But I told myself years ago in my very first one, and I hate it for everybody, I'm going to tell the truth. And that's why I got so many strikes. And then I got creative in how I told the truth. And then I quit it. I was running on 2 strikes for like 6 months. I was that close to getting my channel fucking tore up. And I'm on 1 strike right now. That's why when Indy caused me to get my strike the other day, that would have given me my 2nd strike, and I would have almost been kicked off again, because my 1st strike doesn't come off till June 4th. So, but now I got a little wiggle room. And that's cool. Now I can start telling the truth again for a little bit. But yeah, when I started the channel, it's truth, bro. Truth, truth, truth. Wow. Okay. That's cool. And it sucks because he seemed to be such a nice guy. But whatever. People want to be who they want to be. It's all good. Hey, what's up, Daryl? Yeah, Zardos. Excuse me. Dang naughty bots. What? You're all wheezy. Oh, yeah, okay. You got that whiskey fucking throat from drinking too much Friday night. That sickness. That's right. I believe that as much as I believe Ninja will show up. Which, by the way, I invited him again. He actually did show up one time. It's like fucking 6 months ago. I was doing live stream. He popped up. So every time I go live, I always invite him just in case. So he might pop up one day. Not today. Oh, sweet. I actually, a buddy of mine who runs some Ren fairs down in Florida and Alabama sent me a bottle of muscadine wine from Perdido Vineyards in southern Alabama. It's an American grape and vineyard winemaking company. Shit's pretty good. I actually finished the bottle. Not in one night. I had 1 glass every night, but the shit was good. I actually won another bottle. That's the first alcohol I've drank since 2001 that I can recall right off the top of my head. That's another story. 2001. Muscadine wine is awesome. So is Scopanone. Their red wine. Oh my God, that stuff tastes good, Daryl. Oh my God, does it ever taste so good? I could like hand me a bottle. I'd be like, get your own, bitch. This one's mine. And I wouldn't share. This shit's good. Yeah, I don't. When I moved out to California in '96, I gave up drinking and women. And the only reason I drank in 2001 is because I flew back to Florida and I started my own Renaissance fair with my buddy Selp, who has a Renaissance fair at the Mobile Zoo, and we called it the Mobile Zoo Ren Fair. And I actually went to this place called Gulf War, which is a Society for Creative Anachronisms. It's a SCA event, and they had rented a 1,700-acre farm and rebuilt a plywood castle. It looked like Edinburgh Castle, I think it was. They were going to do the rebattle. They did a recreation of the Battle of Hastings, so it must have been Hastings Castle, not Edinburgh Castle. And they had boats on wheels, everything. But it was a 9-day event, and because I'm, a little entrepreneur, I started Von Dartmoor's Cafe and did a little vending out there, and some chicks I talked into running my place after the first night, and I told them I'd split profit with them. And then I came back 7 days later when the event was over, and I collected like $3,000, and they kept their half, and my half was $3,000 because I was drunk as shit the whole fucking time. And everybody brought homemade wine or mead that they made themselves, and they brought them all in 1-gallon jugs, milk jugs, or similar. Some of them had the clay jugs, but it was all homemade shit. And for like 7 days straight, man, it was nothing but fucking drinking, dude. It was great. So that's why I say 2001. But before that, it was 1996. It was in Utah. Before I got to California, I dropped off my cousin's fiance that I stole from him because I didn't want him to get her pregnant like he did with every other chick he slept with and then leave him. So I took her to her grandfather's house in Utah from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Had some drinks, had some sex, called it good. Came to California and called it good. Homemade wine is awesome, B. Taylor. Dude, it is, yeah. And you can do it. You can ferment anything. There was this dude when I was living in Concord, made plum wine. And it was pretty damn good. I mean, you think plum wine, you're like, oh, God. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I wouldn't go pay $20 for a bottle, but if someone had some, I damn sure wouldn't turn it down. It wasn't, like Mad Dog 20 or 50, whatever that stuff is. Oh, right, Magic Mushroom. Yeah, see, Independent Mini knows about it. Yeah, plum wine. It was actually, like I said, it was actually pretty good for, if you think about plum and then you think wine, you're like, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's pretty good. Don't touch fire, fucking whiskey, bro. I'll use that shit for fucking gasoline in a fucking race car. Like ethanol. No, I don't drink. Actually, drinking, the only cell in your body, out of your whole fucking body, like you see all these Band-Aids and shit I got on, those cells are going to replace themselves and heal and leave scars, right? Cells all throughout your bodies do meiosis. They split, recreate, and remake themselves. There's only one organ in your body that the cells do not recreate themselves, and that is your brain. And drinking, when you get a buzz, an alcohol buzz from drinking, it is actually your brain cells exploding. That's why you typically have a headache the next day. And that is always, and Google this, anyone who dies of alcohol poisoning is found in the fetal position for a reason. Because the last thing your brain remembers is inside the mother's womb, fetal position, and then it gave a heartbeat. And when you die of alcohol poisoning, it's the exact opposite. You go to the fetal position, then you finish your heartbeat. Medical fact. No bullshit. Alcohol makes you stupid. Small amounts, it does not. In copious amounts, if you have a headache the next day, your brain, you fucked your brain up a small bit. And if you do it over 100, 200 times, you're going to be stupider as you get older. You're not going to be like me. I'll tell you that. That cat is going crazy. Well, yeah. Now I put the camera on you. You quit acting like a nut, huh? Start jumping on the wall again, buddy. You were just doing it. Camera shy cat. Never thought I'd have a camera shy cat. Nobody want to come up? Yeah, homemade is cheaper too. And quite frankly, if you're real good at making it, you can sell it to your friends and make money. Yeah, that's my baby Black Panther, buddy. He's pretty big too. He's my biggest male cat. He's almost, he might be bigger than my biggest female cat, and the female cats are bigger than my males. But he's a big boy. That's made me laugh, bro. That was funny. Oh yeah. If any of you guys have any connections to people in the know who can like move and change the world, supposedly we're having problems with bees. Tell these motherfuckers to get in touch with me if they think they're having problems with bees, like on a national level, that they want to do something. I've already shown a video I have. As a matter of fact, sorry about this, people. Let's just see. Plants? No. Garden? No. Health? No. Mine. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Let's see here. I'm going to give you a 6-minute video of something that no one else in the world is working on. Let's see here. Yep, there it is. There it is. There it is. Nope. We got it back that way.
As you can see, no dead bees, because I knocked all the dead bees out the other day.
Now, see, in this system here, it's a mobile system, and as you can see, you can drop the bottom down, and they've got almost 5.5 inches till you get to where their brood box is. And because of that, and you'll see it here in a second, that right there, that is where the male comb is, the drones, because the drone comb is bigger than the brood comb, and it usually takes up 2 of the frames here, like 1 full frame and then half of another frame, which really screws up the colony's breeding, and it causes them to fall back on their breeding. But using this system here, you have 5.5 inches right here, and the bees will create the male comb or the drone comb down here, and it won't affect any process of the hive. And after it gets finished, because they're not used for anything, after they do their job, they get kicked out of the hive. You just reach in there and grab that comb, and it has no effect on it whatsoever. I'm going to fast through a little bit of this because I was still learning, and I was powder sugaring them too much.
Did we get the dead out?
Yeah, there we go. And as you can see, I'm in front of the hive. If you learn how to do beekeeping, the first thing the master beekeeper will tell you, don't do that. Don't do what Neil's doing. Well, that's because they use the Langstroth system, and the bees are pissed off. So instead of the beekeeper coming up with a better design hive that doesn't have to be pissed off, they just came up with a way to work with pissed off bees. Real stupid was what I thought, so I came up with another way.
Close it back up. No sting. Free these guys up with some. Yes, use the scope.
Yeah, we'll use the feature.
Yeah, my partner's scared because there's too many bees coming out. That's how you get the dead bees out. You just bounce it like that. All the dead bees fall. When you use the Langstroth system, the bees have to crawl through their dead to get out, or they have to pull them out by themselves. kind of demoralizing, I thought. So I came up with a system where the dead will fall down here and I can get rid of them daily for them, save them the problem of having to do it. I think they appreciate it. I don't know. I know I would.
They have no more dead. Out of sugar.
Anyhow, that gives you a little insight. I actually have an idea of what the fuck I'm doing when I say I know about bees, because a lot of people are talking about these bees. There's a problem with bees. Yeah, there is. Man, that's the first problem. They need to fix the box, and no one's done it. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat, guys. Hey, Algo, you came in. What? Kevin, holy shit! Everyone came in. Ninja is talking about a coin on his DeFi course. Okay, cool. Fill me in later, bro. Algo, I need to, first off, as moderator, and is Kevin? Yeah, Kevin's already in. Okay, Kevin's already a moderator, so that's cool. Algo, you're now a Blue Meanie. Kevin the Weed Man's also one of Ninja's moderators. And a friend of Travis. He is actually saving the monarch butterfly by telling people, showing people, and selling the milkweed plant. That actually is very helpful to the monarch butterfly, along with other butterflies, but the monarch butterfly particularly likes the milkweed variety of plant. There's like, I think, 4 types of milkweed. Please correct me, Kevin. What's Saturday night, bro? That's why I named it Saturday night. All right. Woo, hoo, 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 hoo. Saturday. I didn't want to write all that shit down, so I just put Saturday night. Yeah, no, he's really into. He also, check this shit out, people. Kevin's a freaking entrepreneur. He started growing, was it parsley? Because he went to an Italian restaurant and noticed they were running short on parsley. So he talked to the owners, started growing parsley. Now that restaurant's buying directly from him. Talk about entrepreneurial. That's it. Kevin's got it going on. Oh, there's 7 types. There's 7 types. I thought there was only 4. I've got one that Kevin told me I had to stick in the refrigerator after I wet it down. Oh, my cat's like this one. Cat grass. And because I leaned forward, Miss Take Advantage of Neil. Hello, Miss Take Advantage of Neil. Yeah. I can't sit back in my chair because she jumped up there. It's a good thing to rent from a farmer. You can gain a lot of knowledge sitting down and having a beer with that guy. I'm talking gold and silver. Anyhow, we had up to 14 people, which is kind of freaking cool. I thank everyone for sharing. Some people stopped by. I'm sure a lot of people follow Mary. Mary had a little lamb. Come up here, Mary. Are you Mary's little lamb? Here, Mary's your little lamb. Yeah, he was making money growing parsley just because he went out to an Italian restaurant and he kept observing things, had a conversation with the owner. Next thing you know, he growing parsley, selling it to her, making money. Wow. I believe it was parsley. Please correct me, Kevin, if it was another plant, another herb that you grew for her. No, it was a small, quick-growing herb that you can. What do you say? You want to call her Mary? She says, "Call you Mary." You. Basil, my bad. Basil. I knew it was one of them, parsley, basil, one of them Italian. No, it was my bad, B. Taylor. I gave wrong information. I apologize for misleading. That's why I asked Kevin to set me straight because I wasn't 100% sure. Like I said, though, I knew it was one of those Italian pizza herbs because in Italy they use both basil and that other one. Is that code for weed? That was a good one, Magic. Is that code for weed? No. Kevin works too much to smoke weed. But he's going to be wealthy because of it. Oh my God. Don't get that started again. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, often. The hell is holding up my computer here? Ah, there we go. That's a little better. Yeah, the bank account's a lot different. All right, that's it. Now, first Indy gets me a strike because she gets sick on a Friday night and doesn't do her live stream. And now she's got the whole chat jumping on board. Okay, girl. Okay, Mary. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's on like Donkey Kong, girlfriend. Wait, I'm gonna get that rumor started that you got me a strike. They'll be like, oh, don't go on Indy's show. She gets people strikes. Neil Bacon. Now that's funny though, because I do like bacon a lot. I like bacon a lot. See, that's why I should put fuck that shit. I'm going back to a fucking fake screen. There we go. There, no more Kevin Bacon. Fuck y'all. No, I'm kidding. I don't care if you see my ugly ass. The computer hasn't broke yet. Let me see. I gotta put that down. Go to present. Nope. Settings. Virtual background. None. Boom. Oh my God. That's it, Mary. Yeah. Hi, B. Taylor. Kevin. Kevin, you know I'm talking to Travis Monday. Oh my God. You guys just come here to make fun of me. First I go to Indies. She has fun with me on her channel. And now you come over here and have fun with me. It's all good. I don't care. That's what you know, you put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you know I'd heard it before. I've had so many people tell me that. It was worse when I was younger. I have actually on when I go to James when he does StreamYard, I found a picture of myself like 15, 20 years ago when I was doing photography, and a side view of me, kind of serious looking shit. Kevin Bacon. Yeah. Let's see, the real Kevin Bacon knows Goldie Hawn. I don't. Actually, her daughter played in Fool's Gold, independent mini. Fool's Gold. Good, funny movie. I know a lot of people don't like it. What's up, Mark C? Fool's Gold. Captain Ron. What About Bob? Oh my God. All good movies. Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. And then if you want to get into some stupid ones that has I think it's Kurt Russell and it's Escape from New York. Oh, B. Taylor, it's on the list, bro. It's on the list. I got so many fucking stakes in the fire that after all of them start paying off, it won't be $1 million house, but I imagine by the end of this year, not having shit and seeing what's behind me, and it's already April, I'll probably have a house paid for enough to where the mortgage will be less than $600 a month by the end of this year in Alabama. And my early retirement is going to be like $800 a month. So I'll have enough from early retirement to cover my mortgage and utilities without working. So, it'll be like a great fucking party then. Well, actually, Algo, the reason why Travis and I really, we get along. When later in the year, when people find out who the Economic Ninja is, this will make me seem all that much more cool. It's 9:30. He probably wouldn't answer the phone right now, but if it was like an hour early, I don't know, it's Saturday. He might be up. No, I'm not going to call him. I don't do that. But oh, I can't let you see the number. Sorry, guys. It was too quick. He and I think a lot alike. He also is a very, very smart individual. He's a lot more. Had I kept in touch with people in my past, I would probably be as connected as him, but that's not my personality type. As I move, I'm from one social group to another throughout my life. When I leave a group, I'm gone. I start new in this group, then I leave that group. And that's how I've lived my life. It's finding out who the fuck I am, so I like bounce around. But he's a very smart guy. He knows exactly what's coming and how it's going to happen. And very, 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 very smart guy. Very smart guy. And he's going to make a lot of people rich who follow him. I've been trying to, I don't want to get too much into finances or what, but I try and put some stuff out there. Do some shows on some stuff that I know is going to happen. I'm not as into it as the Economic Ninja daily type thing, but I'm not also trying to be a teacher. I have other things going on he'll be doing a lot. The Economic Ninja will be doing a live stream on me before the end of this year. We've already talked about things I got going on that are so uniquely different that'll make me money in ways that no one's ever made money before. That's why I'm not real too concerned about crypto or gold or silver or anything. Because when the end of the day is done, if you can create something out of nothing and it takes you an hour and you can sell it for millions of dollars, who gives a fuck what you have now? Because if you can make money, print it like the Fed, shit, buy XRP at $10, buy XRP at $100. Money's going to be free for me when I get it. So Thank you very much, Algo. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna be messing with Mary very bad for giving me that strike. Yeah, again, back to silver price. A year and a half, 2 years ago, a lot of your precious metal people were saying when the silver price goes up $3 or up $4, down $3, up $5, down $4, and starts making big moves like that, the crash is around the corner. The bump is up for silver gold. Before that crash comes, the crypto market's going to run. Take your profits from the crypto market when it's from the high. Buy into silver as it dips down that $5 or $6 dip. Throws that couple $1,000 profit into it. Hold on to it for about a month. It'll be several $100s. Take all that money. Housing will crash. Throw it in housing, and in 4 or 5 months you can have, depending on what you start with, you could pay a house off, or have a good half of it paid off. No, I don't have any money. Don't have any money. I actually was expecting $2,500 in tax returns from the feds and the state, and I got $400. And I didn't owe them anything, so I got to find out where that money went. So I was going to use that, but apparently God saw fit for me not to have any money at this point in time, because that's not how I'm supposed to make money. So it's all good. It's all good. Right on, Mark C. Looking at the sky is such a beautiful thing to do. I don't know what you're going to compare it to. Yeah, I guess you could compare it to 1929 a little bit, but you really, to what extent? To the financial market only extent, yes. To the people jumping out of buildings, that ain't gonna happen. People starving, living in chicken coops. That's not. Americans shouldn't be. I mean, they're doing it now, but it shouldn't be that bad. Actually, it should be the exact opposite. With all the money that America should that we've had to pay for illegals to live $5,000 a month and all this other stuff, it should be very easy to house every American. There shouldn't be a homeless American out there. Probably not. They'll try another stunt. They always try stunts. But see, it's also a time in history for us to change up the fiat dollar back to a sound money. And we're coming into a digital age, which means that the new system will probably be a digitally enhanced system. The last technological revolution we had was a computer system and the internet. This one will be a monetary, digital, and economic and business addition to our economy, and it'll also help make a lot of people money. Sweet. Barefoot out on the soil, that's the best way to be, brother. I'm gonna get a little bit of silver. I've got a job I might get a little bit later this month, a solar panel gig through the union. If I get 2 to 3 weeks worth, I might get 30 or 40, 50 ounces of silver, along with some crypto and some stocks, just in time. I'll be there just in time to grab just enough. Whatever. I don't create the economy. I make bad choices. I live with them. Doesn't mean I ain't going to tell you guys about the good opportunities that I can't take, because I do a lot of research, and I do have quite a good fucking track record, and I do know what I'm talking about. Actually, no, we will not have a fight ever. See, that's what we're going to have both. We're changing out of the fiat, and because America is in control of the energy sector of the world, we're going to back the dollar with energy commodity sources: gold, silver, oil, liquid natural gas, micro nuclear reactors. We're going to back it with energy sector commodity, since America controls the world's energy sector. And that'll be the safest backing for a new dollar bill, a physical bill at the same time. That'll be the American bill. What's happening on the digital sector, if you look at what the government's doing, Congress already passed a law copying somewhat what happened from 1836 to 1862. Back in 1836 to 1862, Congress allowed banks to make their own cash money. They made it legal so that banks would create their own US dollar that looked like a different from another bank's, and they competed for the customer, for the people to come, give them better interest rates on mortgage rates on loans and stuff. And in that time of our economy, everyone was prosperous. Now, if you look at what Congress did, they just passed a digital bill that allows financial institutions to create stable coins backed one for one with the United States dollar, meaning the new dollar, commodity-based dollar we're going to have is going to have a strong backing in several financial institutions that are going to compete for your business in their savings accounts, in their checking accounts, in their loans, and they're going to compete. So like right now, you look at a bank, you have $10 in the bank in 1 month. They'll say, oh, now you got $9 or $5 in bank because we charged you $5 to tell you had no interest. That's going to go away. There's going to be banks out there saying, hey, we'll pay you 5% interest on your savings account. You see, that's the economy we're shifting into. But that part is going to be because of the digital part that we're adding to our economy. But we're still going to have a federal physical dollar bill. So we're going to have both. And that's just how it's going to be. There is no CDBC. Congress already, it's called the Anti-Spy Act. It's illegal to create a CDBC for the American retail. It's out of the question. People want to deny it, but it's a law. What they do, and this is also a law, they will allow financial institutions to create stable coins backed one for one with a physical dollar bill. So since Congress, again, had already passed that law, where's the CDBC? That's like anti-CDBC. Central bank digital currency is not allowing financial institutions to create a stable coin backed one for one with the dollar. Kind of opposite sides of the spectrum there. Congress already passed the law, so you know which way they're going. Oh yeah, well, digital is new to the economy, so there is going to be loopholes that smart people are going to find that they're going to have to close, because nothing's perfect the first time you introduce it. So yeah, it's to be Taylor. There's going to be loopholes. There's going to be people taking advantage of the loopholes. Because we're integrating a digital economy with a physical economy. So there's going to be lots of loopholes, and they'll close, and it's not going to be seamless conversion. It'll be as seamless a conversion as 1971's change over to a fiat dollar system from real money. So however fun that was, but it'll happen because we're having a worldwide economic pullback. Everyone in the world's going to want it to end, so everyone's going to accept, because see, money is acceptance. The rest of the world's got to accept the new dollar, so the new dollar can be brought out. Best time for a new dollar to be brought out is in a world economic turmoil, so that way people can look to a new dollar backed by commodities, not by faith and confidence. And that's also going to keep, make America great, along with the $3 trillion that's going to be invested. There's going to be several crypto dollars. Like I said, Congress already passed a bill allowing a certain, and I gave about 2 weeks ago, I showed a list of companies that have, I was one of my shorts. I showed a list of companies that are looking into creating stable coins to produce for the American consumer to use, and they're going to back it one for one with the dollar. So PayPal was there, Bank of America, Chase, a couple others. So there's going to be lots of digital dollars. It's going to be competition for your money. Right now, there's no competition, so you're getting shit in savings, and you're getting fucked on your interest rates on your loans. As soon as you have competition for your loans and your savings, you're going to be liking life a lot better. Yeah, kind of sort of how it works. So yeah, there's a lot of nuance to it, but cut to the port. That's how it works. And again, back to your statement of there people be cheating. Yeah, there's going to be loopholes, but 95% of it cut to the port. It is what it is, and you got to look at it. And I've said this several times. The Treasury Department signed a contract with Stellar Lumens, which is XLM, and Algorithm. Funny enough, not the guy that was in here, not that algorithm, but there's a crypto called Algo. And if the Treasury Department signed a contract with both those companies about 4.5 years ago to help them create a Fed coin. And I think what they've done, instead of going in the direction of a Fed coin, they figured it would be better to let financial institutions run off the principle of what the Fed coin was going to be, which is a stable coin. Because if the Feds were to do it, and I know it sounds cool and all, but you got to think. If the Feds were to create a stable coin and back it 1 to the dollar, how different is that? Where's the advantageousness of that? If they allow 7 or 8 financial institutions to create stable coins based off of a system of stable coin that they invented with the help of Algo and XLM, then they've got 7 or 8 institutions that are buying the dollar bill. And if you create a new dollar bill at that point in time, and you have 7 or 8 financial institutions that have to buy that new dollar bill to back their stable crypto coin to offer as money to the American citizens, King Dollar, baby. Damn, that's a smart plan. I wonder who thought of that one. I know you don't see it right now, but you can check. It's April 5th. Come back to my live stream in a year. You'll be like, fuck, Neil is a genius. He saw this shit coming. And I do. I see it coming. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be a bait and switch. What's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people out there selling you bullshit. And that's where you got to watch who you listen to and do your own research, because in the digital age and in this transfer, a lot of people are going to get hog tied and scammed, because this is a new thing coming, and there's a lot of scammers out there. But like I said, if you cut it down to the bone, we're going to have a physical dollar bill that looks different than the one we have now. It's going to be backed by the energy sector, because America controls the energy sector of the world. It's a done deal. We control the energy sector of the world. So we're going to back our new dollar off of that. We're going to get in the digital economy and have a digital dollar as well. Several of them. And that's going to help the strength of the physical dollar, especially if all of that digital stablecoin currency that all these institutions are going to be allowed legally to create through the bill through Congress. If they have to back each of them, now you've got 7 or 8 corporations, financial corporations out there that are going to need large sums of stable coins. And each of them is going to be backed one by one with a physical dollar bill. So when America comes out with a new dollar bill, people are going to say, how are you going to transfer the money? There's too many M2, there's too much money supply out there. They just fucking dodged that ball. How? By flooding 7 or 8 financial institutions with billions, tens of billions of dollars. We're talking $1 trillion or $2 trillion worth of new bills first day. Yeah, that's acceptance, baby. Game over. Everyone else is going to catch up. And that's how that works. So, it is what it is, baby. I see pathways. It hasn't happened yet. Yeah, Soros and a couple other billionaires could get together and throw some fucking $5 billion wrench at the system and cause it to take a little longer. But well, see, here's the thing. If you have 7 or 8 financial institutions that are creating stable coins, each of those institutions are owned by several different people. So hold on a second. Wait for it. This is cool. Redistribution of the wealth just occurred. If you go back to my statements of I heard Africa, Burkina Faso, Mali, and a couple other countries want to create some billionaires in their country. That statement, that statement's very interesting. How does a country create a billionaire? Look at Elon Musk. Now you've got countries in Africa wanting to create billionaires. Why? Because they can make political change and also economic change in the country. It shows a stature of wealth. Yeah, it's a setup. If you look at China, they take their billionaires, they do the same thing. The only thing is, in China, a private company there's no such thing as private company. If you own it, you're just an employee of the government. And that's why their billionaire CEOs have been disappearing, because the CEOs thought they were actually rich, when actually they didn't have the billion. It was actually the Communist Party that owned it. And that's why we're kicking a lot of CCP out of our financial institutions and all these other institutions in America, because they're actually communist spies that shouldn't be in our country, because the Chinese don't differentiate business and government. All of their businesses are government owned. They're not separate entities. Like Chase Manhattan is not a department of the federal government here in America. If it was China, it would be a department of the China government. Boom, Mark. See, that's why I don't have a lot of people on my show, because there's not that many smart people out in the world. All of them seems to be in my fucking chat. You guys actually seem to get the gist of what is really going on. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of fucking lefts and whites coming from the random billionaire who's throwing money at a fucking group to fucking throw a wrench in it here to whatever. But it's still going to end up the same. My cats are doing something crazy. Quit looking at me like that, Jin. Do B. Taylor back? Oh hell, I don't know. 2001, as a matter of fact, I do know. A buddy of mine has video of the Skull and Crossbones meeting in Bohemian Grove in Texas, and how the Secret Service blocked off even the riverways that were used for fishing. He's got videos of guys that were in the river fishing that the Secret Service turned around as all these people were meeting in the Bohemian Grove area for Skull and Crossbones. George Bush, Powell, Cheney, all those motherfuckers back in the day going there. And that's why we need more people like you, I, and everyone else in this chat to make a lot of fucking money when this wealth transfer happens. So that way good people have money, so that way we can cause change for the good and not for the bad. A lot of them are losing power right now. It's planned. They're going to shift into something else. Trust me, they're not going away. They're going to shift into something else. But all the named agencies that we know right now are basically going away. Europe's going to fall because America's no longer backing them, and they don't have their shit together after 80 years of stealing from us. Oh, that's what I can show you guys. Holy mac and cheese. Why didn't I think about that? Hold on a second here. No. Is that it? Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Let me go StreamYard. Present. Share. Read that. Here we go. It says, just a friendly reminder, these are the tariffs Canada applied to agricultural products before we entered the trade wars. Chicken, 263% tariff. Turkey, 179% tariff. Butter, 175% tariff. Dairy, whatever the fuck that is, 165. Certain fish products, 160. Milk, 155. Holy cow. And that's their daily tariff that they've been tariffing our goods for a very, very long time. That is theft from America. And we accept it as normal. Chicken, 200. You want to know why Americans don't make money on chicken? Because we can't sell them to other countries because they're almost tripling the price if it comes from America. That's what a tariff is. Just an FYI. How do I get myself back up there? There we go. Sorry about that. Well, see, that also affects inflation. And people don't talk about that. There's a lot of things they don't tell you because they're setting you up for shit. There's a lot of things they don't tell you. But I tell you what, here's something. I'll tell you this. 2026. We're going to have zero inflation. My prediction is in 2026, we're going to have zero inflation. And you're sitting there going, ha, 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 Neil's a fucking idiot. How the hell is that going to happen? $3 trillion worth of new investment into building and manufacturing in our country. Cutting of waste yearly of at least $1 trillion. Increasing the national credit rating back up to AAA, lowering the interest rates of our loans before we do our national interest rates, and having an $800 billion surplus from the cutting of fraud this year to add to next year's budget before we have a budget. Zero inflation in 2026. That's my prediction. And I'm right. And it's April 5th. We'll be able to go back to my live stream in 2026, summertime. And you'll be like, holy fuck, how did Neil see that one? I might even show it if I'm still on. I'll re-show this stream, an hour and 5 minutes into it. Indeed. And then if you do a backup market of like a Bitcoin reserve, like they're talking about, the advantageousness of that, now just let me tell you this here. Okay. 8 years ago, 664 Bitcoin paid for the average house. Now 6 Bitcoin do in 8 years. That's 100% increase. So if America were to invest $100 billion and Bitcoin just follows its regular pattern, we could pay off the net. Let's see, if we've 100 billion, that would give us 10 trillion. Dude, in 10 years, we'd have our national debt paid off, along with all the cuts they're doing and everything else that's going on. To add that to it would put us at zero. But I don't know why they want to do that. Because there's other directions we're going to be going with our economy and with the world governments. We're trying to get to a 1.0 society, which is an energy efficient, energy sustaining, where you get more energy output than you put in. And that's part of the one of many parts of a 1.0 society. Oh yeah, of course it does, B. Taylor. This has been their whole gig the whole time. Just imagine if the government actually started Bitcoin. Imagine how much debt we wouldn't have if they admit that and then sell it to pay off the debt. Imagine if America owns 3 million Bitcoin at $100,000. That's like $30 trillion debt paid off. Overnight, that would fuck the whole world economy up. Of course they did. I mean, they look at the The drones in the Northeast, they say coming out of the water, they have red and green lights on them, but if your helicopter goes near it, they turn the lights off and fly away, and then no one talks about it. No national security, no tanks brought out, no military jets, but yet everyone's concerned. What? If everyone's concerned, we'd have jets in the air, 24 coverage. They're breaking out new technologies, and they're trying to break them into us or get us used to them. And it's government that's done it. It's basically most likely inertial dampening technology and anti-gravity technology and ether plasma energy transfer technology all in one device. And the Navy has patented all three of those. That's all a fact. Way too many secrets. But if you look, you can see them. I have actually seen the diagram because I'm looking to patent something, and I saw the Navy's diagram they had for their anti-gravity device when they went to patent, and they patented an anti-gravity device. They have patented an inertial dampener device, and they have patented the plasma ether energy transfer system. Public records. All public records. Independent many, of course, there are several types of control. Some people will argue decentralized means that it's less control. But if you're dealing with governments and you know anything about monetary policy, governments, the country's money is its sovereignty. Without its sovereignty, it's like you're in the UN. You're no longer whatever countries are in the UN. You're in and you see what the fuck happened from there. So there's issues in that direction. And yeah, that's what they want to do because there is more control in it. But if they're allowing, again, it's a repeat, 1836 to 1862, where Congress allowed banks to print physical dollars to compete for our economy is at that same stage of development, but 100 years, 200 years later, in a digital format. Make all appropriate adjustments for it to be a digital format rather than a physical currency, along with all the technological advancements and the 200-year differential, 180-year differential, 190-year differential. But that's basically what we have. So if they're wanting total control, they're fucking up because you don't get great advancements and achievements when you have total control. As a matter of fact, you stagnant growth. And that's actually the worst thing for freedoms and sovereignty and being the world dominant leader, because you need to be innovative and creative. And if you suppress your people like that, you suppress innovation and creativity. So it's anti-intuitive and self-damning if a country goes that way too far. And that's why theoretically we have the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and other things. So it doesn't happen like that. We'll see. Will it? Well, I don't know. Should it? No, it shouldn't go that way according to the laws. Do things ever work according to the law? Not really. I don't have much confidence. So, oh, don't worry about it, bro. I'll say fuck the system too, man. And quite frankly, like I gave my buddy a ride to fucking the ferry so he could go to San Francisco tonight, and he's a gay black guy. Calls me up, and we fuck with each other hard because when people see us, they're like a straight conservative, or actually, I'm not a conservative. I'm a contrarian, but people can call me conservative. They look at a white conservative with a black gay liberal, and we'll just be talking bullshit shit because we know that it's the content of the persons that we like, not their political affiliations or how they would perceive things in a perfect world from their perception. And he calls me for a ride, and I'll go get it because he's a good dude, you know. And if you see past the bullshit that they feed us, we can be friends. I don't give a fuck if you suck dick or not. I don't care if you can see through the bullshit. Your personal choices are yours. Keep them yours, and we can be friends. I just like people who have good content of character. So curse all you want. If you're a good person, I'll allow it. Because you're just being real. You're not doing it for fucking show or any bullshit. You just, you know, and you hear me, I'm a fucking iron worker, man. I cuss. I'm actually, ask Mary. I cuss too much. Sorry, my tea's getting ready. I hear it kettle. See my cat trying to take my seat as I was pouring my tea. You don't have to worry about the Independent Marinette already did that to me last night when she got sick, and I had to go live because she didn't have a panel for me to go on. I had to run my mouth on YouTube, so she didn't go on. So I went live and I got a strike. So I blame her for that. I haven't got a strike yet tonight, so ain't no one done nothing. Yeah, I don't give it. Yeah, people who concern themselves about color and religion and shit like that, they kind of shallow. Bottom line, those are divisive, and if you got divisive shit in your life, you ain't going far. Not unless you realize they're divisive and you put them in their spot so you can keep going forward, so you can be who you're supposed to be in this life. Things that prevent you from being who you truly can be are divisive and coercive and misleading. If you can recognize that and see through that, you go a lot further. Then you'll have a lot better people. Fewer people, but better people in your life. And fewer and better people is a lot better than more people who want to stab you in the back. I don't like it stabbed in the back. I've had enough ribs broken. Right back here. From when people punch me in the back because they're too scared. My skinny little ass. My skinny little ass. This little fucking ass right here. Motherfucking 240-pound motherfuckers would rather come up behind me and hit me because they're too scared to come up in front. Fuck, I mean, I'm only 145 pounds. I have more broke ribs in my back than I do in the front. And I was a boxer in the Army. And you can check the medical records on that one. I have like 3 fucking on this side, 2 on this side over here, and I only have 2 right here. So I got like 150% more broke ribs from behind than I have in the front. Just you know how I've been attacked in life. For as skinny as I am, motherfuckers very seldom want to come at me from the front. Even with weapons, they don't want to come at me from the front. Come at me from behind. Coward bitches. It's not the military. The military training was the fun shit. The dangerous shit is when I hooked up with Chris Chan. That's when you get dangerous shit. The military shit, that was fun, man. That was bravado shit. see who could go the furthest, who is better than whoever. Good night, Magic. I appreciate you being here, brother. I do. I appreciate you being here. Just like the bravado of that guy who said he was a Marine for 4 years. Couldn't believe that a fucking Army guy could be special operations because he was probably a grunt. Didn't go as far as he wanted to go. I fucking went as far as I want to go, as fast as I want to go, and got the fuck away as quick as fucking possible because that's how I do shit. And I live for me, baby. I'll support my government, and I'll go to war for my government. But if we ain't fighting, don't keep me. And that ain't a new sentiment. The government's got a fucking protocol for that. There's actually a movie made for that protocol when they created it. It was called The Dirty Dozen. And the guy's real name was Jake McNeese. And you need to do some studying, some history on a gentleman named Jake McNeese. Because they crafted this movie called The Dirty Dozen after Jake McNeese. And a couple of people that worked with Jake McNeese and was in his club started what's known as the Dirty Rotten Bastards. And the Dirty Rotten Bastards turned out to be the Hells Angels. History's cool. On James McNeese, he was actually allowed to have a mohawk when he was in England before World War II. He's actually the only guy ever to do 3 paratrooper jumps into combat zones and come back. Typically after 2, they sent you stateside. He actually volunteered for the 3rd one. He was part of the Big Red One. They did a movie on with Patton. The Big Red One. That was his 3rd jump. Is when he was jumped in to help he was the Battle of Bataan. There was this one French town that was totally surrounded by I think it was the Battle of Bataan. Don't quote me on that one. I'm kind of brain farting on the name of the French town. I think it was the Battle of Bataan. Not 100% sure. He jumped into that one. That town was surrounded by Germans, and his group jumped in with supplies into the middle of a surrounded forces, and then he kicked ass and got him out. Guy was fucking awesome. Personal war hero. James McNeese. I seen him. I was watching videos on him up until he was like 78, about 12 years ago when he died, or 10 years ago when he died. He did a couple of videos before he died on shit. He was my kind of guy. I would have enjoyed him if we were in the same time period. And the American military realized you need attitude people like that. That's why they started special operations. Special operations, you'll see these motherfuckers on YouTube. Black Rifle Coffee has all these special operation guys. Those are guys that didn't serve 4 to 6 years. Those are guys that served 3.5, 7, the odd numbers, because they didn't fall under the regular procedure. If there wasn't a freaking war, they weren't in there. You let them go. Sorry, I had to put some milk in my tea. I realized I didn't have any milk. You getting a mohawk, Zardos? Oh, yeah. Earl Grey. Nah, I don't want to do a video on war shit. That should be such a last resort. It's pathetic. And here we have people in our government that make money off of it. The American war soldier, the citizen who's got this esprit de corps to be what needs to be when it's time to be what needs to be, doesn't need to be fucking tested as often for personal profit of freaking corporations and government officials. Right on, Mary. I like to be inspiring to people. And that's also why we smoke the pot. I can't wait till later, June or July. I'll do a video of my garden. Show you guys my weed. I got some good shit. Yeah, they don't they let me I got my yard designed. I like refabbed the whole fucking thing and moved like 5 yards of dirt with a fucking shovel. What's up, Mike? And I relayed the whole thing out, and I got like flowers and shit, and then I got my weed and my flowers, so I can like do a video and show my yard. And I got like Canis lilies, tomatoes, other kinds of lilies, and lily of the Nile, and then I got 4 weed plants. So it ain't gonna be. It's not gonna. They won't be able to be prejudiced, because out here in California, it's 100% legal. My union don't like it. But see, one of my BAs got a little stupid, and I was talking to him on the phone, and he pissed me off, and I offered to come down there and have a face-to-face with him if he had a problem with listening to me on the phone, and he changed his attitude real quick. That's how I'm thinking I'm getting a job soon. Basically, I politely offered to kick his ass. and they know, they got my file. I even told him, I said, go look at my file. I gave him the dates. I said, go look at my file on this date, and this date, and this date, motherfucker. You see what happens to people who fuck with me. Because the union's got files on me because people try to get me kicked out when they did stupid shit and I whooped their ass. And they tried this like, yeah, fucking put that in the file. Fuck them. And they'd look at what I wrote, and they're like, sorry, dude. He double tapped your ass to the fucking head. Everyone I ever had issues with in this union's gone. What's that, Mark? Do these kitties, you gotta go find other cars and bring them back to yours? No, actually, Mark, there was an older couple across the street on the corner that were, while they were alive, and no one knew it. They were like kitten hoarding, and then like he got put in a home and she like died. So all of a sudden, there was like 20 fucking cats that hadn't been spayed and neutered, kind of released on the neighborhood. So I stepped up and started over a year and a half catching these little fuckers. I caught like, I think I got like 38 kittens. I got adopted out, and I got like 18 or 19 spay and neutered. And when you spay and neuter them, they just hang around the area that they got spay and neutered. So that way, no new cats move in who aren't spayed and neutered. So we haven't had any kittens in the area. But you got to keep feeding them to keep them in the area, to keep the other cats away who can have kittens. See what I'm getting at? And that's the gist of how that works. So no, because those people were fucking hoarding cats, I now have cats in my fucking house because I have empathy and I love animals. Because these animals here, they don't talk. They don't have a fucking association to go to. They don't have a fucking human at City Hall to fucking go to saying, hey, someone just fucking threw me out in the streets without any notice. I don't have no food or shelter. And cars are trying to run me over. And I'll probably be dead in a year because of that dumbass. See, they don't have word, they don't have a voice, so I am their voice. You ought to see my. Here's Chloe. She can tell she's on video. That's my little girl right there. She's pregnant. And there's Shadow. But yeah, I'm looking at some properties in Alabama, 1-2 acre, 3-4 bedroom, 13 to 2,300 square foot, somewhere in those ranges. Anything 1 acre-ish. So that way the outside cats, because right now the outside cats only stay in like maybe maximum 2/3 of an acre of an area. Most of them stay within fucking 1/4 of an acre. So I could take all of them with me, set up like a little shed, 2 or 3 sheds throughout the property, fence in the property, have a just central feeding point. That'll be good. Ain't that right, Chloe? What are you doing? Chloe, come kick Ginger's ass. My youngest girl kicks Ginger's ass. Ginger used to think she was a badass. Yeah, you thought you were badass till fucking Chloe came along and started fucking with you. Little Chloe, the female, my youngest female, is actually boss of the females. And this guy right here, my Russian blue, he is actually boss of all the males, even though he's one of the smallest, but that's par for the course. Gotta watch out for the little ones. They usually the boss mans. Windows open, don't have to open it. It's funny to see how their personalities are in those different positions, because like the way they show dominance, it's like Chloe will like just like prance up and like take one paw, swat it, take the other paw, swat it, take another paw, swat it, where the other cats will just like bum rush you and get into it like a cat scrap. Chloe will straight up come at you, puff chest, and just like swat, walk you backwards, swat. I've seen her do it to Ginger. Ginger's about 50% bigger than she is. It's funny. And she's only about a year old, and Ginger's like 4 years old. So the little young one's got some spirit. At the same time, Chloe's sister Platina gets pushed around by Ginger. So, you know, personalities. Each of them has their own. Chloe's actually now learning that she has to step up for her sister while Ginger is bullying her. I've seen Chloe actually step up and swat Ginger for bullying her sister, which is kind of cool. Like you said, it's fascinating watching the hierarchy and their natural personalities coming out. that's kind of like Shadow, my black cat. He's not the alpha by no means. Gandalf is, but even Gandalf will walk up and walk slow and eyeball him and just keep walking, to where if Gandalf's sitting somewhere and Shadow comes by, Shadow will stop, showing that Gandalf still actually has dominance, but they're both want to be the dominant. But Gandalf's a Russian blue, so he's naturally just, even though he's smaller, he's like more strategic in his thought process. And always, like I did a short where he was stalking his brother Harley, and then at the right moment he came up and just swatted right at his lower thigh. Perfect spot. I mean, he's very strategic about it. He's a very strategic cat. to where all the other cats are just cat-like. I can actually see a strategy in Gandalf, and actually in Harley. I guess they're both brothers. I guess it came in their genes from their mom. Their mom's outside cat named Angel. Oh my God, Mike. Get the fucker spayed as soon as, or neutered as soon as possible after the pups are born, and get them spayed and neutered too. Find a local clinic that does spay neuter, and just tell them when the pups are old enough, hey, we found these pups on the side of the road. We need to get them spayed and neutered. And they'll do it for like $90 a pup. Like I said, I've done like 18 or 19 cats. Actually, I think dogs are cheaper. Cost me $90 for the females and $120 for the males. If you want one, make sure you have time for it and you ain't gonna throw it out on the streets in a couple of years. Dude, try taking. I had 4 dogs last year and 9 indoor cats. Over a period of a year, all 4 of my dogs, I had to end up putting them all down. It was a ton of money because all of them were medium and large dogs. I had 2 large and 2 mediums. They went through $80, about $100 a week. And these cats go through about, all of them, including the outside cats, about $150 a week. Sweet, Mark. Yeah, cats. We bred cats. Humans domesticated cats from lions and tigers and pumas and panthers. They have a very, very good view of things. If you don't wear the responsibility, don't take the pet then. Because they are a responsibility. But they're also very enhancing for certain people's. They're very strategic when you get the right cats, bro. And the wild ones are actually very strategic because their dinner depends on it. I had one cat, and she passed away. That's when I started getting all these others. She used to coordinate with all the neighborhood cats when I lived a block down the road, and she used to get squirrels and bring me home squirrels. And I watched her one night coordinate with 2 other cats to get a squirrel, and they moved in sequence in a pincer formation almost. She came through the center and had them come around, and she would look at them, and they would move, and the squirrel bolted her way. She, boom! Very strategic. They're ambush predators. Yeah, please do advertise, Mike, if anyone's in the Seattle area. You know how to take care of mice, B. Taylor. I'll show you the simplest way. This costs less than $4. Baking soda. Google it. Google, can mice burp or fart? I've seen mice run out of a house. Take some sprinkle of this where you think the mouse is. Mice run. It's like fucking acid air to them, bro. They run away from this like crazy. That's enough to take our mice in your house for a couple of years. Yeah, it's cheap as heck. And here's another one. I don't want to get a strike. Give out too much information, I'll get a strike. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, guys. I appreciate everyone being here. It's been about 2 hours. Actually, it's over 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Mike Herrera, B. Taylor, Mark C. You don't even have to do that, Mark C. As soon as they smell even the smallest particulate of baking soda, it's poison to them. It's an instinctual reaction. They run away from it. You don't have to attract them to it. But anyhow, yeah, I'm not going to have a live stream tomorrow night. That's another reason why I did the stream tonight. So I'll see Mary tomorrow night backstage. You guys have a good evening. God bless America. Be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. Take care and have a blessed week.